All right. Good morning, everybody. Oh, jeez. I hope everyone's doing well. Let's see. Hey, Hips. Hey, Mary. How's it going? Thank you so much for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. Yeah, definitely a late night on my end. So I'm going to try my best to not embarrass myself. And yeah. All right. Let's go ahead and get into it. All right. You are most welcome. Awesome. Okay, let's do this. So normally when I start my trading day, it normally only takes me about 5 to 10 minutes to figure out the stocks I want to look at. I keep it very simple, but I want to field any questions that anyone has. If you have any questions about any stocks that you're looking at or however, please go ahead and place it in the chat. So we'll go ahead, bring this up. Okay, so the way that I started off is I just go to the stock market watch. A lot of people know my daily routine. We'll go ahead and go here. Take a look at what's gaining, what's losing. Oh man, not really too much on the radar. It's gonna be an interesting day then. All right. So I'm looking for stocks that are over. I mean, I would like for them to be over 500,000 in volume. We actually just take a look at the volume right here. If it has low volume, it's just going to be very choppy. I'm going to get horrible fills when I'm trying to trade the stock. So I see down here we have a good amount. It's down 7%, so that's definitely a possibility. For the long side, ACB. ACB could be a good one. I mean, it's down or it's up about 9%. The volume's really good right now. TEUM would be another possibility. I'm just really not seeing too much. Wednesdays, if I could talk, that'd be awesome. Normally they can be slower days. I love Thursdays. I love Thursdays trading. Tuesdays and Thursdays are probably my most favorite days. So we'll go ahead and bounce over. I know a lot of people are watching BPTH. This is just one that's had a lot of hype around it. People keep asking me about it. What do I think? I mean, it has an ascension right here. It's basically ascending triangle if we were to take out the top of that wicking candle. So I'll go ahead, draw it out. So we got boom right there. And then also if we were to take out that wick, we would have it right here. Now the interesting thing is if we did include the wick, which you should, I mean, even though it was just so overextended, it's not even funny. We have the crossing right here. Make sure everyone can see that. So today is really, if it's not today, then tomorrow is really going to dictate what this stock does. Is it going to continue to push up and keep the ascension going, or is it going to break through? I actually posted on Twitter what I was looking for a couple of days ago, and it was just a break of the support. I mean, yeah, it has a line here, but excuse me, if we're able to break through this support line, then we'd be able to get a better idea. It is down in the pre-market right now, which is nice, but it doesn't really give me a good idea of, it doesn't make me feel like the bears are going to have a lot of control. I mean, yeah, it's down, but there's still a lot of resistance on the bull side. So, okay, let's go ahead. We'll take a look at PDD. Okay. Wow. Okay, so the stock's down. Looking at the previous day's low at 29.70. It's about 2 points. 29.70. Yeah, 2.5. Huge spike right here. Basically what I'm looking at is just ensuring that my fail safes are in place when it comes to the previous day's low. Also ensuring there's not a crazy spread, which there really isn't a crazy spread. Not right now. I mean, it could change. What else do we have? Now for the bulls, we have ACB. Okay, well, I think today was mission accomplished for the bulls, because right here we have this line. So right here I had the breakout. We'll just see how much momentum it has for that daily breakout. Up about almost 10% right now. Spread isn't crazy. I mean, there really isn't a spread whatsoever, so that's good. If there's a spread, normally that means if you were to get into the trade, then you'd automatically be down so many cents per share, which is never a good thing, because if it goes against you, I mean, you don't really have too much wiggle room. So ACB and TEUM. Yeah, I mean, it's somewhat similar to ACB. I mean, we just had the breakout push right here. But looking at the daily so far, it's not too bullish of a candle. It could continue to go up. It really just comes down to how it reacts at market open. Hey Jess, how's it going? What's the least volume you would look for in pre-market? It's a good question. It really just depends what time it is in the pre-market. If it were, let's say, like 9:25, then I would like for it to be like around 350, 400. If we're talking about like right now, you know, 200, maybe 150. But if we go ahead and take a look back at the pre-market, I mean, we don't really have too many I can always refresh the page just to make sure. Now, there are other ways I can go about looking for stocks. This isn't the only route, but this is my favorite route to go. It's very simple. I don't use scanners. A lot of people use scanners, and that's definitely fine. I mean, it gives you a better idea, but I'm not in the market long enough to need to use a scanner. Now, scanners can pop up within pre-market, don't get me wrong, but when I go through here, I look at the stocks. I look for one specific type of movement, which normally occurs at 9:30, 9:31. Now, it doesn't always, don't get me wrong. Some days, you know, I get into the market, it could even be today, and I don't see any type of spike, and, you know, maybe just the market doesn't treat me right. So you always have to remember, you don't need to force a trade. You don't have to trade every day to be a proficient trader, or even be like a full-time trader. If that's your main desire, is to be a full-time trader, you don't have to trade every day. I think that's a misconception. People feel like they have to get into the market and they have to trade. But if you're making, you know, very prestigious trades, when you see that textbook setup for whatever works for your technique or strategy, I mean, you can make a lot of money in just one trade, which would be equivalent to like a whole week. So, okay, how many shares do you recommend buying at once? Okay, so it really just goes off what you're comfortable with, how long you've been trading, your account, how much margin you have in the account. Like for and also, I mean, it really just depends off the price of the stock, how the stock's moving, where your mental stop loss is. You know, if you're risking $1 within a trade, then if you're using 200 shares, you'd be risking $200. And you know, would that be too much for your account? It really just comes down to what you're comfortable with. Whenever I enter a trade, I already have in my mind, let's say I got into a trade and it was like a 50-cent stop loss on 500 shares, so 250 bucks. As soon as I execute that trade, in my mind, I have the ability to lose $250. So if it goes against me, I lose 250 bucks, and I'm like, well, you know, I told myself I could lose $250. It's not like a surprise. Because if it becomes a surprise, then you're going to start over trading and try to get revenge on that one trade. Because no one likes to be taken advantage of in the market. So just, you know, ensuring that you're mentally prepared for any type of loss, that's very important. And that's important for myself as well. Even, you know, experienced day traders or advanced day traders, you know, you never want to be surprised in the market. Commission price. Commission price, if you're speaking on TradeNet, it is 0.006 per share. Granted, you do have ECM fees, you have routing fees. But I mean, like when I was with SureTrader, if it was 1,000 shares, it'd be $10. And then, of course, with TradeNet, 1,000 shares is $6. So, yeah, definitely. Yeah, PDD could be a good pick. Geez, my computer is working hard today. Good morning, Eric. Excellent to see you. Oh, man. Ugh. BPTH. Oh, my goodness. See, the reason I'm not really feeling this one... Oh, man. I mean, look at the spread on this beast. 58 cents. Holy, that means as soon as I enter this trade, if I were to get in 100 shares, I'd be down 58 bucks. And then you just multiply that, 1,000 shares, you would be down 500 something dollars. I mean, that's just, hopefully when it actually opens, the volume comes in, it's not as choppy. And when volume comes in a stock, it basically closes up these huge outrageous spreads. I mean, now it's 30 cents. So looking on the daily, again, as I was pulling out, we do have that ascension. Right there. See the high. So the high right now is 38. And the interesting thing is, if you look at the daily right here, the high is 38. I knew 38 looked familiar. So we have 38 as the high of this candle. We have 38 as the high of this candle. So when trading this, it's difficult to say that your ultimate stop loss would be 38 because that's almost, I mean, it's 3.5 points away. But 38 would be a good idea. It is down 63 cents. I like my stocks to be down a little bit more, around 3%, just guaranteeing that a lot of bears are going to be watching it with me. Look who's trading today. Remember back when I was at, you said back when it was at $10 and you said you couldn't wait to short it. Yeah. Did you wake up with that, Joss? No, I mean, it didn't really look like this. It basically is out here. Looked like the Slim Jim guy. So, yeah, no, I definitely was excited, especially when it was popping up here. I mean, this is a great amount. I believe the first day it wasn't tradable. Then I wasn't able to trade it on Thursday or somewhere around there. I can't quite remember. But yeah, this huge spike, and now look at us. Slim Jims. Gotta love Slim Jims, yeah. They'll give you heartburn like hell, but it's worth the hell. Yeah, looking at BPTH, want the volume to roll in. This isn't a stock that I would trade at market open, I can tell you that. I would give it some time. I would not jump into the first minute candle. Even if it had a crazy spike up to $38. Okay, if it had a crazy spike to $38, I'd trade it in the first candle. If it was all the way to 38, and that's just because we had the 38 right here and also right here. But granted, if it has a huge spike, and that's why I don't like it being down only 1 something %, Because if it has a huge spike, it's going to move it to green. So it's going to be a red to green. And then the bulls are going to watch it, and they're going to get excited again. So if we can keep it in the red, that'd be awesome. Talking about spreads, there's a crazy spread, PHUN. Volume 1. Jeez. I remember back a while ago coming across that and saying who trades this. Well, people who are trading this are just long. They're normally long. They just bought the stock and they're holding it until Armageddon. So, yeah, you're not going to see any day traders. Well, I mean, hopefully, I would hate to see someone make a video trading this stock. But it could be out there. So you only buy above 5,000? You only buy above 5,000. I'm not quite sure what you mean, Mary. You only buy above 5,000. Yeah, I'm not quite sure. But yes, for the BPTH enthusiast, $38 is interesting. What I would have liked to see more is this break of this daily be a little less than 39.88. If it would have broke at, like, let's say that high was 38 something, then it would verify to me this could possibly be just a false break on the daily. But it almost moved 2 points above 38, so. Alright, we have 13 minutes till market open. Alright, and I am not really finding too much. That's awesome. I'll be watching PDD for a momentum spike at open. I definitely want to get closer to the VWAP. Then of course, my ultimate stop would be around 29. Yeah. Okay, when you're on the other screen, the number's inside the parentheses. I'm going to assume this was the other screen. The number's inside the parentheses. Possibly, are you speaking of the volume above? Okay, the volume. Okay, and I believe you may be referring to 50,000 or 500,000. Yeah, so the volume, I like the volume to be closer to 500,000 before I trade it. So that's why I was looking at PDD, because we have a good amount of volume, 2.1 million. Looking at TEUM, we're close to it within the pre-market. ACB, it's over it. No worries. Yeah, and the only reason I say 500,000 is that's just a good round amount. It could be 350, it could be 400. As long as it has a smooth, it's not choppy like we were looking at the one stock that had one share traded. It's just very smooth. So, like this is very choppy. I have like, it's just chopping everywhere. The volume's very low. So, EPTH. Yeah, 38, definitely a big area. Oh man, I gotta keep it together. Ugh, jeez. Yeah, if anyone wants me to look at any stocks whatsoever that you possibly like to trade or you just want to take an opinion on, definitely post it within the chat. We can take a look at it together. We have about 10 minutes till market open. See how it goes. You think PDD is going to shoot up at open? Well, when I look at PDD, I see it's down a large amount. Let's see, so with the large amount going down, people are going to be shorting it within the pre-market because I mean that's basically what's fueling this whole push. Now it could have been, I don't know, quarter results came out and you know they missed earnings or however, but all I know is it's going down from this. When market opens, the shorters are going to be taking profits. Another buying that's generated is people that bought it up here on the daily. Now they see it's all the way down here and they say, hell yeah, it's on discount. I'm going to buy more, get a lower average. They're going to be buying. And then, of course, momentum traders, they know the shorters have to cover. They see that's down. They want to get a slice of the cake. Now, granted, they're going to be looking at stocks that are up for the day. They're not really going to be looking at ones that are down. But you could get a good amount of momentum traders in there. So all that buying is generating the spike. I mean, I can't say I know it's going to spike, but I believe there will be some type of pullback, yes. I'm really just looking at how it's reacting. Looks like we have a wall at 27.10. And then really just how it plays off of there. Again, I'd like for it to spike up, get closer to this VWAP. Also, we have 29.70 as the daily low. My first time watching you live, I'm playing catch up. Yeah, no worries whatsoever. If you have any questions, you know, my trading style is much different than a lot of people. So, basically, I'm looking, I mean, look at this huge seller wall. Or, I'm sorry, buyer wall. Oh, I should have drank some coffee. But basically, I'm looking for these momentum spikes, these overextensions, especially with stocks that are down for the day, because I know there's going to be some type of pullback. It could pull up to up here. I mean, it could. I'd like for it to close the gap of the VWAP, and then I'm actually shorting into those spikes. So, haven't traded on market open. Would it be a horrible idea to take a long immediately and try to catch the up on short profit takers? I mean, some people do that. That's how they make money. The reason that I like to short the momentum candles is because I've already seen the movement occur. So I'm not trying to basically guess. I mean, once I see this momentum spike occur and I see where it actually goes to, then it just ups my percentage of being green because I've already seen the movement occur. Like I was just saying, I'd like for it to get closer to the VWAP. If it gets closer to the VWAP, then I'll take the position. I want to stay below the VWAP just because the industrial traders, you know, if it stays below the VWAP, then a lot of them will be shorting it because it is below the VWAP. And normally it's written out in their contract that some people of them can't short if it's above the VWAP. Some of them can't buy it if it's below the VWAP. But this stock is over $10, so that's basically what I'm thinking. Why the VWAP? Yeah, I mean that's a good question. The VWAP is basically just compiling where the stock, based on like the past prices and everything. Basically, that the VWAP is stating this is where the stock, you know, is projected to be around. So that's why I think the VWAP is the best and the most vital imperative indicator. I mean, of course, the moving averages, I mean, we have them right here. And when they cross, then, like I've said in my past videos, you're going to get some type of movement. Normally, it's like a exaggerated movement. But the VWAP, everyone uses that one indicator. Not everyone's going to use EMAs or SMAs or pivot points or however, but everyone, I would say 99% of people, I can't say 100%, are going to use the VWAP. That's just the most known indicator, and a lot of people are going to be basing their trade strictly off that, just like how I'm doing right now. If it gets closer to the VWAP, then I would feel more secure in shorting this one stock. All right, 4.5 minutes till market open. It's going to be interesting. Let's go ahead and take a look at BPTH one more time. Boom. Yeah, we're still down the pre-market, but if it gets a crazy spike, we're going to push to green territory. Thinking that it's going to bounce off the VWAP or what. I've heard people talk about a magnet, and I'm confused by all of it still. So when referring to the magnet of a VWAP, they may just be speaking about it's entangling itself with the VWAP. So if we just take this for example, it becomes overextended off the VWAP, it comes up and then it connects with it. Then it comes down, it connects with it, comes back up, connects with it, comes back down. So stocks normally, if they're becoming overextended off the VWAP, they're going to move their way back to it like a magnet. That could possibly be what they're speaking of. But yeah, VWAP, you always want to look to see if it's going to be a support or resistance. That's very important. Yeah, definitely. All right. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm not really... Damn, I was thinking there would be more options for today, and unfortunately... I mean, I'm sure there's other stocks people are looking at. I mean, we could always look at the top 20. So normally what I'm doing here is I'm just looking at the top 20 and I'm just scrolling through real quick to see if there's anything that I like. I normally do this though at market open, just because market open is going to give me an idea. Now, okay, this is what I was saying. 927 to 930 is very important. As you can see, I mean, right here, there's starting to be a movement at 927. And like I've said, when people don't want to go long on stocks, you need to pay very close attention to 927 to 930. This is going to give you a good idea of how it's going to actually react when it opens at 930. So it's 927 to 929, however. Yeah. Well, like, yeah, just how I said. So we just got that push from, you know, basically people that are covering it out. BPTH is starting to move. It's down 24 cents right now. So could easily go to green territory, and then the bulls will get excited and I could go back up to $75. I'm not sure. It looks like hitting support might bounce. Yeah, I mean, it is green on the day. It had to push through. I'm definitely looking forward to see how much it can push through though, because it did break through right here. So hopefully it can continue to go. There's a huge seller wall right here currently. So all these orders need to be eaten before it'll go up. Okay, there we go. So it does have strength behind it. Market opens in 40 seconds. Oh my goodness, and I have no idea. So normally at this time, within like 3 minutes to go, I would already be eagle-eyed on a stock. I'm not feeling that today, unfortunately. BPTH acting weird as normal. So it's down 13 cents, about to move into green territory. Don't like that. Definitely don't like that. But $38 is still a key resistance line. So it could bounce up to hit $38. Next thing you know, it just sells off. Okay, market just opened. All right, Jonathan, what are you looking at? Well, I'm looking at BPTH, of course. It could get really crazy. It's in green territory now. I'm going to switch over to PDD. Here we go. We're moving up to the VWAP. Jonathan, you're waiting for it to get close to the VWAP. I was. And let's go ahead and execute. Oh, so let me see. My 2972 points, about 2 points. I should get into this stock before there is a pullback. Okay, it's already pulled back a little too much for my liking. Hopefully we get another push up. Okay, there we go. You always want to be patient within stocks. Now 50 shares would really be nothing. So if this, okay, so we have a buyer wall right now. How's it going to react to 27.85? Well, we do have a, okay, now we're definitely getting some volume in here. I don't want to pull the trigger too quick because I see that there is some volume and I do have that previous day's low of 29.70. Okay, good thing that we waited, but we did have a false break here. False break would indicate that we would short. So 90, so another false break because it's barely breaking through. So we'll go ahead and put 100 shares, wait how it's going to react to 27.90. And I shorted it here. Now there is a buyer wall of some sort, and it isn't really closing the gap completely. But like I said, we had that false break, and then it just continued to do false breaks. So you just want to be very secure with your trades. You don't really want to panic or anything. I'm watching it. I'll see how it reacts. If it breaks the high, then we could always add to it. But you just want to be very laid back. I mean, I know how much I'm risking. I only have 100 shares. So looking at the previous day's low, that was about 2 points away. So also it closed up to the VWAP. So I told myself if it gets closer to the VWAP, I'd be looking at it. So in my head, let's say this was a red trade. Then I would say, well, I followed my plan exactly, and that was what I wanted to do. Now I have 2780 as my average. And then also 72. If 72 breaks of this bull flag, it'd be really nice. Now, we are getting a ascension right here. So basically, looking, I don't really draw them too much, but just to give people a visualization. And it is holding really nice. So that's something what you don't want to see too much. But again, if it breaks 72, we might have the ability to have a good amount of push. Again, only 100 shares. I just added 100 shares for this push breakdown. Woo! Jonathan, you called it. Beautiful. Boom. And I'm going to wait for that. Boom. I should have. Actually, I'm not even going to say I should have. No, I did exactly what I needed to do. I let the movement occur. I'm waiting for the rubber band effect, and okay. And that's it. That's it. $83 is 20% of my account. So 20% of my account I made in 4 minutes. And that's the thing. I keep telling people, you don't have to be in the market a crazy amount of time. You don't have to be a full-time trader. I mean, I just made 20% in 4 minutes. You don't have to be sitting in there for hours and hours and hours. So thank you, Jess. I really do appreciate it. Yeah, a definitely beautiful trade. Does that stock have, actually, I really like BPTH. I don't like that it's going from red to green. So also look at the daily candle. Well, it's kind of borderline, but it does have a bottom wick. So be really careful if you're going to trade this. The spread on it is just horrid. Now it's starting to get a little bit of volume, so the spreads are closing up. But again, the red is good. For when I'm trading, the red is definitely good because I short it. I'm basically making my profit on the way down. Looking back, oh my goodness. Oh, jeez. Oh, that's awesome. That's so awesome. But hey, I have to say, on my tickets right here, I did everything that should have been. For 27.80, I was risking 10 cents because we had the high up here of 27.90. So I was risking 10 cents and I basically got almost 50 cents in return. Now this stock is crashing and it breaks my heart because look at that seller wall. It's basically going to crash through this $0.50. But, you know, I could sit here all day and say I should have held it. Everything, you can trade hindsight, but, you know, I'm happy with my trade. It was a textbook for me. I held, and also I felt very comfortable with the trade. I knew I was risking 10 cents. I got a beautiful fill. We have a double top right here. Everything was just beautiful, and I'm really happy with it. So I don't really even care about all this, you know. No one can say, oh, it was going to do that. You don't know that. I saw this huge overextension, and you know I was waiting for the rubber band effect. But hey, I'm excited. Don't look at it. Yeah, no, it really, you know, I'm happy. I'm happy. I mean, that would be equivalent to people that saw BPTH, and they saw that huge overextension to $70-something. But you know, a lot of people wouldn't have guessed that it would crash down as fast as it did. And that goes back all the way to TLRY. I mean, the pharmaceutical. I mean, when I was on vacation, it hit $300 at like 2 p.m. And then from 2 p.m. to like 2:15, 2:20, it went all the way down to $150. It went down 150 points in the afternoon. No one saw that coming. I didn't see it coming. So, you know, anyone can look in hindsight and be pissed off at themselves. But I have to say, $83, 20%. I'm excited. I'm excited. So if we actually look at how much we're doing right now, we have about $370 within the small account. I'm almost at about 100%. You know, I can't complain. Can't complain. If anyone has any stocks they want me to take a look at, I mean, this is really my trading. I was done in 4 minutes, and then I just kind of I can do whatever I want after that. And that's just the beautiful thing about day trading. You know, you have the ability to set your hours. You don't have some crappy boss behind you telling you that you should do whatever. Now for BPTH, I know a lot of people want me to place an analysis on this because this is just what they're really excited about. Okay, I'll do it. Okay, so we have a high here, 36.20. We have a high at 36.25. This is a false break after market open. It's coming down. If we actually look at the 5-minute chart, we get a little bit better of an idea. We had the low here. The thing with this stock, and it's been doing it a few times, is it'll make the high, yeah, at market open. It'll come down, and then it'll break that high a little further in the trading day. I mean, look at the candle. It's already getting a bottom wick. Oh my goodness, the spaghetti is just killing me. I mean, look at that. So just be very wary of it. You can make a lot of money on this stock. But it just depends how much you're willing to risk, and there are better stocks out there to trade. Like PDD was a beautiful trade. I'm very happy with it. Yeah, there was a lot more it went down, but I mean, hindsight's 20/20. Go look at TEM push at open. I didn't take. Okay. Oh, that's beautiful. Well, it's nice. It's nice. Yeah. Yeah. But just looking at it, it looks like it has about 60 cents. So if you're looking here, 450, looking at here about 510, 60-cent movement. Yeah, you can make a good amount. Looking at the chart, how it's developed now, then, you know, it's like, oh, that's just beautiful. You know, it is beautiful. But when you're actually within the stock, the way it was actually moving when it was going through this candle, I mean, it could have easily hopped here. It came up, hit that VWAP, pushed right back down. Because all we see now is where the candle is actually formed. So, and that just goes back to PDD. When we saw this huge push, it just sat here. Sat right at the 720, or 2720. Now, granted, we have a push down. You know, everyone can see that. But, you know, I felt very happy taking it right before the low. Because there could have easily been a pullback. Because look how overextended it is off the VWAP. You have just the 2 or 3 main ones. Are you speaking of the stocks that I look at? Yes. Yeah, I just have the 2 to 3 that I look at. A lot of people have like 10 or 20 they're looking at one time. And a lot of people have it set up where they have a, you know, like a chart right here that's basically telling. A Garage Day Trader, he uses one. Very good guy, definitely check him out. But he has his scanner. So his scanner gives him a better idea. I just keep it very simple. I truly do. That's just kind of how I am. A lot of people love the scanners. They feel like the scanner is the life source of the stock market or their trading, or maybe it'll make them a better trader. I'm not quite sure. But as you saw, I was basically a caveman in this. I looked at a free website. I saw some stocks, and I was like, cool. Okay, boom. Made this trade, and we're done. And I promise you, 90% of the people using those scanners are still sitting in the market, looking at that scanner, praying to the gods of the stock market that something will pop off, and I'm already done with my trading. So it's really just however you want to view it. It was about 11%. That's good. I mean, that's definitely good, and I definitely recommend people use percentages. I could say all day I made 80-something bucks, but when I say 20% in my account, I mean, that's really the hard-hitting percentage. You know, you always want to hit 100%, basically doubling your money. So, yes, going off percentages is definitely important, especially when I'm looking at stocks that are down in the pre-market. Yeah, I can look at the dollar amount all day, but looking at the percentage gives me a better idea. And it's equivalent to people within cryptocurrency. You could say all day it costs $5, but a lot of them aren't saying $5. They're saying the equivalent of Bitcoin. It's just a different way of speaking. Let me go ahead and take a look at BPTH one more time. Okay, if you're looking at BPTH, 34 is going to be a very interesting break. I can promise you that. It's right below the VWAP. You have 34 right here. Yes, we are getting a push, but whenever that comes back down, because the VWAP and the moving average are about to cross, 34 is going to be very interesting. Additionally, we have about 34.01, so basically 34 right there. But you want it to stay in the red if you want to short this. If it goes back to green, it's just going to do that consistently and continually through the day trading period. It's going to keep on bouncing from green to red, green to red, green to red, because the bulls and the bears are having a huge mosh pit going on. You know, Miss Trade was just watching. Any others in play? BPTH could be interesting if it stays in the red. Currently, we're about 85 cents in the red. We have a wicking candle. Make sure you're looking for 34. 34 is going to be interesting. I promise you, when 34 pops up, there's going to be a huge buyer wall. That's the support line. 34 is going to be very interesting, just like 38 was interesting on the daily. We have 38. We also have 38. Well, it was 38, right, in some area. 100% doubles depends on compounding. Okay, okay. That's true. Yeah, I mean, if you're talking about any type of investing, then whatever you're gathering from that initial investment and then you double it, yeah, it could vary. I'm actually just looking at BPTH, that break at 34. What's interesting is this moving average is holding it up. But look at this huge wicking candle. So people like to see the drawn out, so we can draw it right here. So it's going to be this one candle. Definitely the next candle is going to decide how we are moving. We have the pull right here. Do you have a vid of level 2 buyer wall, seller walls? There actually is a video. Damn it. So we are holding on the VWAP right now. Definitely keep that in mind. I do have a video of the seller walls. There was actually one stock I traded quite some time ago, but it had a seller wall like crazy. And when it broke through, then it had another seller wall that was created. So, yes, so I do in there. I can't think of the stock, but I know the video title, it says something seller wall. What the seller wall or something like that. Okay, look at this push up. So again, if it goes to green, then it's going to be playing around with that a little bit. So keep that in mind. There's one wicking candle here, 35.38. That one's going to be interesting if it does break. Yeah, I'm normally not in the stock market this long, so okay, so we just pushed up to green. Look at that huge push. Now, granted, if I wanted to trade this, I would probably short it in this area just because I saw it push up to green and then it immediately went back to red. But that would be a very, very, very quick trade. And with a very tight stop loss, I would not recommend anyone do it except myself. Let me just throw that out there real quick. But yes, that's where I would have shorted on that push with a very, very tight stop loss. Very tight. I mean, very, very tight stop loss. I don't trust this stock. I wouldn't trade it today unless I was trading that one push. Yeah, this daily. It's one to hold. BPTH holders are real. Alright, like I normally say with the crossing of the moving average and VWAP, we had this generate. Now the moving average is holding it. Like I said, I would have shorted right in this area for a very, very, very quick movement. Very quick. With a very tight stop loss. So that would have been my one play on this stock. And as you see, it would have been a little bit of profit. Can't deny that. But I wouldn't have had fun in this stock. The spreads are too crazy. The movement's too sporadic. But yeah, it would have been about 60-cent profit right now. So again, if anyone wants to watch it, 34 is going to be interesting whenever that time comes. You only do anything at market open, or will you later too? I'm probably not going to trade later. I have a lot of other projects I need to work on. Market open is my specialty, but I'm definitely here to give any advice whatsoever. Like I was saying, BPTH, you know, this area would have been a short, and then now we can see it's crashing through the VWAP. So that would have been a good trade, but again, it's more of an advanced technical trade. But yeah, again, if anyone wants me to look at any stocks whatsoever, please let me know. Yeah, just having a good time right now. 950. I haven't seen 950 in the stock market for quite some time. So 20 minutes after market open, I am off doing something else normally, but I love spending time with everybody. I love any questions you have. And yeah, BPTH. Man, that would have been a beautiful short right here. Just paper trading it though. Not actually trying to execute any trades on it. There was an offering for it the other day, which was kind of interesting. There was a large amount of shares. I think the price for it was like 26 or something like that, which is very surprising that the stock is staying at this rate. Now it isn't for like, it's not like a buyout or anything like that. It's just a amount of their common shares. But a lot of shareholders are going to see someone's buying that low a price. That's not really going to assist too much. This is interesting. Boom. Look at that. But again, 34 is it would be much better trade to take. I wouldn't get crazy like I would in this area. But also what I like about this, you have a high of, I mean, 35.50, that's right on the $0.50. That's going to be a mental resistance. Then you have the break right here. Oh my goodness, here we go. 34 is about to pop up. If looking at 34 at this point in time, we see it was all the way up here. It's broke down, and there's a lot of red coming from it. You want to make sure to look out for any type of false break from this 34. When I'm saying false break, if it pushes up right here, it starts to consolidate, that would be beautiful. If it immediately pushes through, then I would look for a false break, meaning that it breaks 34 by like a slight amount, and then it just goes back up. But we do have the crossing of the VWAP and the moving average. Got a good movement right here, about 50-cent movement. Excuse me. Yeah, I like the. I mean, yeah, I could agree to that. Yeah, definitely. The older he gets, I think the more it would mimic. But yeah. Okay, so here's the push-up that I was speaking of. Yeah, let me know if anyone wants me to look at any stocks or anything. Take a look at them. I'm pretty much done with my trading day. One trade. Not even sure how long the trade actually lasts. About 2-minute trade. It's not too bad. I'm glad that I placed another 100 shares on it just so I can get more of a movement. So, can't complain on that. Can't complain. Man, this thing is still going down. I wouldn't have guessed that it would have gone down that much. You go through and call some potential setups. Yeah, definitely wouldn't trade PDD right now. Let's go ahead and look at BPTH. BPTH, again, 34. Like I said, when it was down here, I'd like for some type of pullback, consolidation, then break through 34. That's exactly what you're seeing right now. Wait for the spread to close up before you place any type of order. Again, not a stock market professional, not an investing professional, not a finance professional. blah, 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 all those. But if I was trading it, that's exactly what I would do, is wait for that spread to close, wait for that buyer wall of 34 to hit, and then wait for that buyer wall to start to disintegrate because people are trying to push it down. Definitely, Mary. Thank you so much for tuning in. I truly do appreciate it. Thank you so much. ALRN, you think it's going to break out of that open market low? ALRN. For the breakout of that open market low. Well, this one's interesting because it has gone from being green on the day to red. I mean, that's seen here. So we had the daily high. 190 is going to be interesting. The movement of this isn't too crazy, but you do have the buyer wall. If the buyer wall, if we get some volume, push through could be good. Just because we did have the spike in momentum right here, came back down, started consolidating, and then could push through. Definitely want the volume to grow on that one. I mean, it would be a very tight stop. You know, I definitely wouldn't want to get up to $2. There could be another spike. I wouldn't think so since one just occurred right here. It is pretty overextended off the VWAP though. That's another thing that we have to look at. So I see the buyer wall, see if it starts to get eaten. And 190 is also the low of day. So every day I look at the volumes just go to nothing after the first 3 candles. Yeah, I mean, that's basically how it's set up. Just like with me, not saying I'm a professional, but just like with me, with other advanced traders, we're done within 5 minutes. And then we can do whatever we want with our day. We don't sit around waiting for our scanners to pop off. We just don't do that. We take the trade, the 2-minute trade, the 1-minute trade, or however, and then we're done. Getting a little bit of a spread on ALRN. But yeah, I would definitely recommend, and as you pointed out, you saw TUM. I mean, you know what to do. It's not like you don't understand the movements or anything like that. You know exactly what to do. It really just comes down to execution, using a share amount that you're comfortable with. I used 100 shares, 200 shares, but the max that I could have used for my trade was about 500 shares. So I used about 2/5 of my full buying power. Can't complain about that. I'm worried that good setups with 200 MAs except will just be broken. The one through, but broken through. Okay, should I still trade them normally? Well, when it comes to really the way that I view it, I try when I teach, or basically when I'm mentoring anyone, I keep it very simple. I have my ground rules, and I can really just speak. Look at this. I never short stock that is up on the day. I never buy a stock that is down on the day. For the opening candles, if it's down on the day, it's going to do the exact opposite. Now there could be, as soon as, like, let's say a stock is down on the day, it opens up at 9:30, it could immediately flush. Don't get me wrong, I've seen that in the past, but there will always be a pullback. You know, there's always going to be a place where people are taking their profits. You just have to be patient. Just like we were patient in this one stock. I saw this huge momentum push. I'm like, okay, cool, but my first order wasn't executed until 9:31.50. I didn't get into the trade until right here because I wanted to be patient with it. So it's really about being patient, waiting for the key entries. It broke through right here, the moving average. It broke through, but again, what I was primarily focusing on was it coming up and filling the gap of the VWAP. That was what I told myself. That's why I told everyone, you know, before market even opened. If it actually spikes, get close to this VWAP, I will short it. I held to my plan, and I made a good amount for the small account. I can't complain. $83. I mean, that's a full tank of gas. So PDD any more entries. With PDD, honestly, it's down for the day. I mean, a good amount. I mean, it's 15%. I wouldn't trade it. I wouldn't trade this anymore. All the action already took place. All the action. Even if someone wanted to get in the break of, you know, right here, 2650, that's already taken place. You know, for the rest of the day, it could be holding still or it could slightly recover. I don't really see it going down. The biggest support right here be 2550. Bull or bears might want to break through 2550 on this the low of this candle for the daily, but I think the main chunk of the profits have already been taken. That's just kind of how I feel about it. Down 15%, just a huge fall off. But again, the huge swings are going to occur within the first 5 minutes. So right here, right there. BPTH, did we break through? Oh, we did. Yeah. Look at that. We broke through 34. So if someone was watching that 34-cent area and took quick profits, you got about 40-cent profit. Not too bad. One thing I don't like about this break is it didn't actually consolidate at 34 on the dot like these two did. If this came down, moved, touched 34, then broke through, it would have been more beautiful. But because it basically broke through without any consolidation, then that's why we're getting this pullback. So ALRN is still bouncing on that 190. It's probably going to be bouncing for some time. It's so overextended off the VWAP. Even if it broke, I'm not quite sure. I mean, yeah, basically we just got a break right here. It says 190, but I'm seeing 189. That's weird. That is weird. AKTX. Wow. Look at this. Okay. Wow. Okay, definitely extended. It's up a really good amount. It is having a pullback, but this could be consolidation. When something's up almost 100%, I'm thinking there's going to be a substantial pullback. I mean, that's just kind of how it is. But not being biased of any sort, I mean, we are getting a dissension right here. So, 339 is the high of day. Yeah, as a bear, you know, I would definitely be waiting for a pullback. But there could definitely be a short squeeze. And that's what the bulls love. Bulls love short squeezes. Because if I were to short, I have to buy. And if I get squeezed, I have to buy. So when the bulls are buying, then I'm buying. And it just helps them out. Not wanting that. I personally wouldn't trade this because it is up crazy on the day. I mean, who knows where it could go to. It could just flatten like right here. But it could be a BPTH and go some crazy amount. So, could you re-explain the whole green on pre-market and red on pre-market, how it reacts to open to that? I misunderstood, I think. Okay. Let's just go ahead and go to PDD. So if a stock is down in the pre-market, basically people are shorting it because it's going down. People are shorting it. When market opens, then people are going to be buying it. Basically because the shorts are going to be covering their positions and taking their profits. So that's why we zoom in, not that much, but we see all this downward momentum. So it's going down, it's going down, it's going down. Market opens and people are covering. Also, people were covering in this area. People that have the ability to trade pre-market. But we also have to remember there's a lot of brokers that don't allow pre-market and post-market trading, like TradeNet. So a lot of the orders are going through at 9:30. Additionally, people that are going through their banks, like whatever bank you have, you could see that the stock is down and you're like, oh crap, I'm going to contact my bank. The bank's like, okay, we got your order to buy because you bought up here. You want to buy down here now to average it out because you're like, oh, it's on sale. That's awesome. So they say it's going to go through on the next trading day, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. But in terms of following trend, after the cover, shouldn't it continue to downtrend? Yeah, I mean, normally it does continue. As you saw here, it was going down. People covered, came up, closed the VWAP, and then as you see, it's just gone off. Normally, the pre-market is going to set the pace for the stock. If it's down on the day, if it's down in the pre-market, then a lot of people that start the trading at 9:30 have the ability to the market. They're going to see that's down, and they want to jump in because they like the downward momentum. They want to join in for profitability with the bears. That goes with stocks that are up on the day. People see that it's up on the day. There's going to be a pullback at open, somewhere within open, just because people that bought it within the pre-market, it's up such a great amount, they're going to sell, but you got to be looking out for the dip buyers. As soon as market opens, you have that push down because people are taking profits. People are going to get the dip buy, the momentum traders, and it's going to push it back up. So normally the pre-market sets the pace for the stock. Hopefully that explained it. If you need me to cover it in more depth, please let me know. Just looking at BPTH. Oh, this is interesting. AKTX. Yeah, push up 345 for a high, and then it immediately comes back down. This could be a good break area. It could be because it's wicking candle. Now it's still up on the day. Bulls are going to be watching it. So bears don't have a lot of the control. If you were wanting to short it, if you're wanting to buy it, the closer it gets to the VWAP, the price is always going to look better. You're always going to get a better price if it gets closer to the VWAP. Because the overextension, like way up here, especially for a lower price stock like this, you know, being over 40 cents off the VWAP, there's always going to be some type of pullback. As you see here, I mean, pull back to the VWAP, we have it up, VWAP, and to the VWAP. But there may be some trouble breaking this high at 345. And when it breaks the high at 345, if it does, see how much it breaks it by. I mean, is it only breaking it by 1 cent? If it only breaks it by 1 cent, there's going to be a pullback. Just because it's a false break. The bulls have failed the mission of breaking the high, and they need to regroup and they need to consolidate, and that's why the pullback occurs. We are holding the moving average though. So, but with these penny stocks, when they're spiking up like this, rarely do they stay up for a good amount of time. BPTH is an exception. This is true. But normally when they're spiking up like this, yes, there's going to be a huge run up. It could be hundreds of %, but normally it doesn't last too long. So 345 is the high. We had a 2 cent push over this one candle. It's not, I mean, the volume's dying on it basically right here. I mean, yeah, it's still a good amount of shares, don't get me wrong, but unless the volume can grow, it's not going to push. It's a 5 cent break. That's not too bad for a penny stock, I guess. But what would have been more beautiful instead of this stock opening way down here and breaking a high, if it came up and it consolidated. So we're getting another push, becoming overextended off the VWAP, and also these breaks. I mean, we had 10-cent break, 5-cent break. Yeah, nothing too special. The volume is growing though. Awesome. Yeah. If I was a bull, I don't really like this. I'm not in love with this. This isn't a textbook setup for me. Just because the breaks, they're back to back, which means it's overextending itself. Look how overextended it is off the VWAP. So the false breaks are just giving me an indicator that all the bulls aren't coming together, consolidating and breaking it like crazy. We have another break right here. The more it breaks itself, people get excited about this. They say it's breaking the highs, it's breaking the highs. You should think the opposite. I would like one good push of like 25 cents on one candle, not these multiple breaks, because all it's doing is overextending itself, becoming more overextended off the VWAP itself. So we can always check back on it, see how it's doing, but I don't like the break, and we'll see what the next candle does. Oh, my bad. Whoopsies. Okay, so we're taking a look at awesome right here. Okay, so it's up, but the daily candle is the most bearish candle I've ever seen in my life. So this is basically a play I would do with my trading. We have a huge spike up right here, basically a false break of 4 cents, and then it comes back down. If you're looking at going bullish on this, if you wanted to go long, I don't like it, because it has, its momentum is going downward. It has a downward trend right here. Going long, going short, I don't like it either. This isn't really, because if I wanted to go short, it's still up on the day. And the volume is really just dying out on it. And that's something that you're going to see with the stocks. The later in the day you get, the more the volume is just going to die until you get to power hour, which can be very crazy. I've traded power hour before. I have a video on it. Yeah, power hour is, yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. But yeah, sorry about that. I thought it was awesome. I thought, yeah. But yeah, downward momentum right now. Just not in love with it. Take a look at BPTH one more time. I keep on saying one more time, but still interested. So we have a high at 35.50, 35.45. It almost got there, and we're getting the pullback. So what's really cool about this one stock is it's getting close to green territory, is basically breaking into green territory, and then it just pulls itself back down. So, like I said quite some time ago now, I would have shorted in this area. After that spike, we got the push. People may think it would be good to short in this area on this candle. You know, it's one way to look at it. But again, it's going from red to green, so it's just holding that sideways pressure, and that's something you just need to watch out for. Yeah. So it hits almost $4 and we're getting a pullback. $4, any whole dollar when it comes to penny stocks definitely is going to be a mental resistance. Breaking through, there's going to be a lot of there's normally a lot of orders at the whole dollars. So that's something to keep in mind. It is holding this moving average very nicely. Don't get me wrong. But it's very overextended. It's overextended about $1 from the VWAP. The pullback definitely needs to come. People say don't overtrade, but under trading is my problem. If I took every trade I liked, I would be trading 6 times a day or so, but I'd only be wrong once or twice, and my winners would way outweigh my losers. Yeah, I mean, it really just comes down to what you're comfortable with. Look at AKTX. Look at this. My goodness. Still overextended itself. I'm still going to hold to that. Pullback needs to come. But yeah, everyone has their own trading style. Some people take 3, 4, 5 trades, and you know, that's fine. I take 1, maybe 2 trades, and you know, that's fine too. I mean, it's really just whatever you're most comfortable with. Make sure this one candle forming here doesn't turn into a wicking candle. Yes, it is holding the moving average well. But the pullback is going to come, and the more it overextends itself, the more detrimental the pullback is going to be. I don't think this is going to be another BPTH. Just throw it out there. Also, a 4-cent break. Not looking too good. So, but yeah, whatever you're most comfortable with, whatever basically makes you profitable. And if you're going towards becoming a full-time trader, you know, your trading technique and style just ensuring that it keeps up with your living, whatever your cost of living is. That's really the thing. Can't believe you're not in this. Looks like a perfect short for you. Yeah, but it is up. I mean, when we were looking at it initially, it was up about 80%. Now it's up 135%. It could drift off and be back to, you know, down in this area. But like I said, I hold to my rules. A lot of people won't agree. But I hold to my rules. I don't short stocks that are up on the day. Don't buy stocks that are down on the day. So, but yes, it's looking good. I mean, yeah, because look at these breaks right here. You have the full blocks. Every single break here, look at this wicking candle. The wicking candle is basically showing you that there's weakness. Even though there's breaks, there's a lot of weakness in them. Not available on TradeNet. I could definitely believe that. I don't even need to check this. That's okay. There's always tomorrow. I would love for it to hold up here until tomorrow. Don't get me wrong. The more it holds, the more meat I have for a short. So that's fine. Hopefully this thing goes up to $1,000, and then I can short it tomorrow, because I promise you it's not going to stay there. Go ahead and look around a little bit. Let me go over to the top 20. Now this is something that's available within the TradeNet platform. I use it sometimes, but basically, okay, so AKTX, of course, we see it right here. Look at the loss. Excuse me. Yeah, when it's so late in the day, it's not a good time to trade. It's really not. Unless you're seeing some type of something like this going on, but you would want it in the early stages. Right now, it's just becoming like too much of a... there's too many variables within this one. TUM... Huh. Well, it broke over $5 and then came back down, but still a good gain, almost 22%. Okay, so breakthrough. Trading tomorrow. I may look at the stock market real quick just to see how BPTH and I could find it. It'd be awesome if I could find it. Okay, it's going this way. and how AKTX are doing. I highly doubt it's going to hold these levels until the end of the trading day. And if it does, it's probably going to get slaughtered in the post market. But if it holds, I'll definitely take a look tomorrow. I won't be live, but of course on my Twitter I always post what I'm watching. Within the Wolfpack Discord I always post what I'm watching. Anyone can take a look at it. There's no charge whatsoever. Just ensuring that people have a good idea, because a lot of people aren't familiar with how to look at stocks. I mean, really find a stock that they like. And that was my big issue when I first started day trading, is I was in a chat room. These guys were saying, look, at 420. Okay, never mind. Just I'm kind of looking at it right now, but yeah, they had no idea, or I had no idea where to find stocks, and they were posting stocks to watch. So I'm just trying to give people some information that may assist them in their journey of trading. Yeah, this is getting very, very weak right here. Very weak. I mean, the wicking can't... I mean, there we go. That's all I had to say, is it's looking very weak. And then, boom, Miss Cleo said, let it be, and here we go. So, yeah. I don't think it's going to hold the levels. But if it did, it'd be more meat on the bone. So... and the overextension off the VWAP. I mean, that has to get closed up one way or another. It's not going to stay up there. It could pull back to the VWAP and continue to go up. These penny stocks, that's why people love them. Well, that's why chat room owners love them. They're very cheap. A lot of people have access to them. They're wild, but they will make you good profit. So... kind of how it is. Go ahead. Of course, always have to do this. Sub counter. 528. Oh my goodness, Mr. Kitty. We're making history. Wow. 528. Wow. I am so honored. I'm lost for words. I never thought I'd see over 500. My goodness, we're almost to 600, almost to 657. That's awesome. Thank you all so much for the support. I truly do appreciate it. You know, it means the world to me. Yeah, it's looking real weak. Yeah, but not available on TradeNet. Could take some of the traders out of the mix. Don't see it holding this level much longer. There might be a short squeeze because the bulls just really need people to buy, and they're trying to get some bears to join them. Other than that, this is just another pump and dump. I haven't even checked the news, but hell, I'll check the news. Oh crap, what was the AKTX? 13th, post downbeat quarter 4 sales. Announces results from FDA meeting. Announces positive FDA meeting. Yeah, no. That's just kind of fluff news. Post... Yeah, no. No, people are getting hyped off of some news that's not really news. Now, if it said something like, you know, they had positive results of some type of test they were doing, but if you said you post that you had a good meeting with the FDA, Nope. Nope. Yeah. Definitely watching for it to break. I might actually just stay and wait for this to break. I'm kind of interested now. Let's go ahead and get comfortable. So we are having the down wicking candles. But if I bring my art out, well, I didn't even have time to really draw it, but that's what I was trying to draw. All right, this is the moment of truth. Even though it kind of broke through here already, but we're still in the moment of truth. Oh, crap. Okay, well, it doesn't look like I need to stay around for too long. ACB starting a descending triangle. ACB. Wow, this is a very large float. Well, we're getting lower lows and lower highs in some aspect. I mean, yeah, we had a huge pump here going down, but as far as this area, could be a cup and handle, but it would be an inverse cup and handle. So basically we're going up right here, comes down to possibly the support created with this candle, comes back up and then breaks through it. Again, this is a very, very large float. I wouldn't even trade this. Unless I was like, yeah, I mean, I would up the share size, of course, if I did. This is a good stock to get in if you were just getting used to the market, understand everything. Just because it does have good, it's very smooth how it's actually moving. It's not going to move like crazy. There's no spread on it. But again, it could be a cup and handle inversed. That's kind of what I'm thinking. It is very, in reference to the size of the stock, it is very overextended off the VWAP. And as we were speaking of earlier with the magnet, boom, 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 boom. Now it needs to come back up and spread that. So actually get back up there closer to the VWAP. I mean, it doesn't have to break the VWAP, but if it gets closer. So if it comes down, we have this, comes back up, and then we have a breakdown. It is up on the day, so it could continue to go up, but it does have a downward momentum. So I'd be looking to see it come up, close that at the VWAP. But if it does, it's going to be breaking through these levels. So we have somewhat of a level right here because we have the touch right here, touch right here, touch here, touch here, touch here. And then, of course, really this is the primary level. If it breaks this, gets closer to the VWAP, it could continue to go up. But this would be one of the key levels to look at right here. Oh man, look at that. Look at this. Boom. As Trading Monkey would say, Boom, boom, boom. We are going up. Oh my goodness. Look at that. The short squeeze. The short squeeze did occur. The bulls said, hell, we need the volume. Let's all get together and slice the bears up, and that occurred. Hell. Just keep going. Let me short this thing tomorrow. Up about 150%. It's a good amount. TEUM. Yeah, definitely a good movement at the beginning, of course. Starting to level itself off. We're really just getting into the later hours. We're getting into the lunch hours. You don't want to be trading within the lunch hour. Because the volume has died down a great amount. I mean, we can see it right here on these candles of the volume. Volume's growing down, or basically going down a lot. Then you can get momentum spikes out of nowhere. So even if something looked really good for a short, out of nowhere, a lot of volume could pop in, and then you just got squeezed. So I personally wouldn't trade. I wouldn't recommend anyone trade after 10 o'clock. Maybe 10:15 is pushing it. But definitely 10 o'clock is where it's like, okay, I know there's been a lot of times where I'm looking for a short. It's going up, it's filling that previous day's low, and around 10 o'clock, it breaks down. So 10 o'clock is about the cutoff time. After that, we get into lunch hours. After lunch, it's just very slow. Then you get into the power hour, which normally keys on a few stocks, but not like all of the stocks. So I think for anyone that wants to become like consistently profitable, a full-time day trader, really key the first five minutes. I mean, honestly, that's where you're going to get the most movement. When we were trading PDD, yes, it went all the way down here, but when we were trading it, you're more secure because I knew where the high was, I knew where the low is. Right here, when I got into the trade, so average cost 27.76, and that's because I averaged in. Originally, I had 27.80. So I was only risking 10 cents. I knew where the high of day was. I knew how overextended it was actually becoming in the stock. It came up, it was very close to touching the VWAP, it closed the gap, and it came back down. So I was only risking 10 cents. But when you get into the later of the day, I mean, you're risking a lot more. If I were to short it right now, you know, you could put a very close stop on it, but you want to give it some room to breathe. When it came over to this trade that I was doing right here, I was giving it room to breathe. If it broke through 27.90, I was just going to average more. But I knew every time it broke that high, it was becoming even more overextended, even more overextended. So every time it broke, it was actually going in my favor. A lot of people say, Jonathan, you're averaging it. That's risky. When are you going to stop averaging it? Every time it breaks a high, you know, without consolidation, every time it breaks a high, so if the candles break, the next one breaks, the next one breaks, becoming more overextended is just going in my favor. I love to see that. It looks beautiful because that's just more meat on the bone when it comes to actually shorting it on the way down. So first 5 minutes, key in on that. Ensure that you're using a share size that you are comfortable with. So you took that trade based on the VWAP or because it was on a downtrend. Now my personal trade PDD, I took it because around like 9:20, I said, when it was like right in this area, I said, okay, if it gets closer and it covers that gap from basically the gap of the VWAP, I'm going to short the stock. And that's exactly what occurred. It closed the gap like I wanted it to. And I didn't second guess myself. You can't second guess yourself. If you say, if it does this, I'm going to do this, then it's basically a subconscious movement, just in the sense that, you know, like when you're doing something and you're like, that doesn't feel right. Why doesn't it feel right? It's basically a part in your brain, I think it's the frontal lobe, but it harbors information. It just doesn't have the ability to connect emotion to it. So when you're like, why doesn't that feel right? It's basically that. So when I was saying if it closes this gap, it felt right to me. Okay, if it closes the gap for the VWAP, then I'll short it. And I did. And it worked out. I mean, of course, it's all the way down here, but it worked out well, and I'm happy. I stuck to my plan. And that makes me proud of the trade, that I actually stuck to my plan. I didn't need anyone else's assistance. I didn't have to ask the garage day trader, hey, what do you think of this? I was able to make the decision on my own. I guess I'm worried that when all the volume comes in and people see that it's a green candle to start the day, that they may all jump in and break the VWAP. That's actually a really good, I need to stick to my plans. That's actually really, really, that's really good, because when I'm looking at, when I'm looking at stocks like BPTH, we'll use that for example. This one is a and still going sideways, just like from the green to red movements. This stock is a pump. I mean, it basically is. Yeah, it had good news, but when I'm looking at it, I know the bulls wanted to push through. So in this first minute candle right here, I see this momentum, and it's basically, at one point it was a green candle, and it could scare me off because I'm like, oh crap, here it goes again. We're going up to 75 bucks. And then once you see this other candle push, at one point it was green because it was up to a high of here. I'm like, nope, I'm done. But if I was looking at my analysis when it comes to, okay, it's down a certain amount, I was looking at $38, getting close to $38. Yeah, that's a far spread, but that's what I had to go off of. Even with PDD, I mean, you could use that as an example. When it was up here, if we looked at the previous day's low, $29.70, about 29 bucks. It got up to $28. I could say, oh crap, this might just cover it completely. So that's why I average in. I don't go in full share size. I average in, get a feel of it, and that's why I started with 100 shares. 100 shares, I was really comfortable. I mean, I entered the trade, and I was just sitting back here, just looking at it, talking. It wasn't like I had my my hand on the mouse and I was like, oh crap, okay, oh shit, oh crap, okay, yep, it's going up, oh no, it's touching the high, okay, is it gonna break? I'm not doing that. I'm really comfortable with what I do, how many shares I execute. So if it broke the high, then I just say, okay, well, let's average this a little bit. When I first started day trading, it was really bad. I would be shaking like, oh crap. But the more experience that you gain, it's really just another day. Trust me, if you're able to master those first 5 minutes, especially the averaging portion, this is honestly a cakewalk. And I'm not trying to put down anybody that is having difficulty. Trust me, when I first started day trading, my average I was like 30% green. It was horrible. Everyone starts somewhere. But if you can master the first 5 minutes, get a technique and a strategy that works for you, that you're comfortable with, it's a cakewalk. It really is. It truly is. With anything else in this world, it can be mastered. You can master, I don't know, painting. You can be Bob Ross, With day trading, it's just another thing that requires a different set of skills. That's all it is. The only reason that people are intimidated about the stock market is because you are risking money. If I was playing a video game, if I'm playing Dark Souls, I don't give a crap. I go in there full speed ahead, slice and dice, and if I get killed, who cares? I'm going to come back. But with the stock market, you have your real money on the line, your hard-earned money, and that's what intimidates people. And that's why all this emotion and this fear and this revenge comes, because you're messing with people's wealth. That's what it is. Do you have a good video on mastering the first 5 minutes other than live trades, or what do you think would be the most helpful? Do I have videos specializing on the first 5 minutes? I think I've touched on it. I don't think I have one specific, but I could always make one. You know, I think it would be interesting for people to see, because not a lot of people trade. I know of people that trade the first 5 minutes. I don't see people trading the first like 1 minute candle. Normally I do. The reason I didn't today is just because I saw this huge push and I wanted to see if it was going to get close to the VWAP. I was patient with it and it worked out this time. Sometimes you can be too patient. This next candle is going to go down. But what would be most helpful? I think it would just be understanding the psychology behind the movement. I can always make a video. Don't get me wrong. I will make a video. I'll do that. I'll make a video. But understanding what you should be looking out for. You want to anticipate movements. Don't get me wrong. But you're not going to be Miss Cleo. You're not going to know the future. You know, unfortunately, we can't be like her. But you can anticipate. And that's what I did before in the pre-market. I anticipated, okay, if this moves up to the VWAP, then everyone's going to be looking at that. They want it to close that gap, because if it doesn't close the gap at the, let's say the stock opened and it plummeted down immediately, people are still waiting for it to close that the VWAP gap. So I wanted to get closer. That's securing that a lot of other bears are going to jump in with me, because they're waiting for it too. They're waiting for it to get close to the VWAP before they shorted. So you always want to think about what the bulls are thinking and what the bears are thinking. And just understand the psychology and why the movements would occur. That's just the biggest thing. It really is. The first 5 minutes to me is sit out and let the craziness happen, but I think that's just because I don't understand it. So yeah, a good video on that would be amazing. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the thing is, I felt the same way. When I first started trading, I would start at like 10 a.m. or however. Because I'd see the first candles, I'm just like, nope. And then I got into momentum trading, and as you've seen, I can actually just bring up, let me go ahead and move this. So these are my actual orders when I was a momentum trader. I don't really show these because I'm not one to flash. Some people are like, look how much money I made. I'm a baller, shot caller, and then I have the 40-inch rims on the Impala. But I don't really do that. And I think that's what kind of separates me from other traders, because the people want to see these big numbers. I'm just not. I just don't do it. But as a momentum trader, as you see, I took this trade at 4 seconds after market open. 2,000 shares, 17-cent gain. It's about 340 bucks. This was within basically the first 5 minutes. It was a 6 second trade, about 40 cents on 2,500 shares. You're looking at about over $1,000. This was a 6 second trade. This was later in the day. I don't recommend that though. So just kind of giving people an idea of, yeah, you can trade within the first minute candle as a momentum trader. Definitely look out for that. We will go back over. So yeah, definitely understanding the movement is very important. That's where you're going to find the money. That's where you're going to find the movement. That's basically where, in my mind, you'll achieve the greatest amount of success. Now, this is my first day trading this month, unfortunately. I hate being out of the market, but I always post my picks, what I'm looking for, everything like that, to assist where I can. But it was a green day, so I can't complain about that. Adding to the small account, having a good time. It's nice to use a smaller amount of margin, a smaller amount of buying power, so other people that are newer, they have the ability to mimic what's going on. I don't know about everyone else, but level 2 walls and some early market explanations would be perfect. I appreciate it. Okay. Yeah, definitely. We can definitely do that. So actually, if you take a look right here, you see this wall. This is basically a seller wall. On the bid, you have the buyers. On the ask, you have the sellers. And for the walls, how I use them is, let's say we have this huge wall on the ask. Basically what's forming right now. All those orders have to be taken out before it will move up to the next cent amount. So it's holding down the stock. It's helping me. Those are basically the level 2 walls. Now, of course, you can do the inverse where the wall will be on the bid, and a lot of momentum traders use that because there's huge numbers of size on, like, let's say it was 12 bucks or 10 bucks. If there's a huge number over here, people are more inclined to buy it because all these numbers have to disappear before it'll go below that $10. Additionally, $10 is very important because a lot of industrial traders can't trade it if it's under $10. So that's something definitely to keep in mind. What else was there? And some early market explanations would be perfect. Early market. So, I mean, like the first 5-minute candles or maybe within the pre-market, what you could look for. One thing that I like to touch on is I always preach to everyone, look for 925, 926, 927 to actually market open. Look how the stock reacts in that time. As you see here, we got a little bit of a push, a little bit, but I wanted to wait till 9:30 when all the shorters when the stock's down on the day, when all the shorters are actually taking their profits for this huge momentum spike. If we look at BPTH, we look right here at 928, we had this huge spike. That probably wasn't that good in the bull's interest because the spike occurred at 928 and not 930. If it occurred at 930, there would have been a lot more pressure in this area. All this did was create basically a resistance line that the bulls had to push through because everyone's going to be looking at the pre-market high. And now this isn't the high completely because you have all this over here, but it is the high, the first high I would be looking for the stock to move closer to. So looking at 925 to 930 is very important. You could even go more in depth. Now 80 cents on POD. Oh, I'm sorry, PDD at the open. Just small size, but too busy with Apple calls. I've been holding. That's awesome. We trade the same thing. That's great. Okay. Right at open. What was when did you actually jump in? Did you short it like in the first minute candle? Did you wait for this high up here? I'm thinking you probably held it longer than I did. I should have held it longer, but hey, I can always say I should have, could have, would have, however. But that's awesome. Congrats, James, definitely. But yeah, if you want to go more in depth for if something's up on the day, you know, how's it going to react at 925 to 930-ish? You know, how's it going to react? Because a lot of people that trade pre-market like to keep it in pre-market. They don't want it to get messed around with when market opens, when a bunch of other crazies come into it. So that's why I say 925 to 930. Oh, first minute candle trading. Okay, okay. Let me move back a little bit. $930, $27.52. Okay, so right in this area. I wanted to add, but it was too fast. Yeah, it was. And then you got out at $26.73. Oh man, great hold. That's awesome. All the way down here. Damn, all the way down here. Wait, great job. I don't like to add on a fast one. Can it drop? Bad feel. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I was considering actually shorting in this candle, but I wanted to be a little bit more patient, and I got in right here on this candle. So I was about to. Don't get me wrong. I just wanted to see how it was actually going to react, if it was going to get closer to the VWAP, because the VWAP was the primary thing I was looking for. But that's an awesome trade. Great job. How many shares did you have for that? Oh, let's look back to BPTH. Okay, here we go. Breaking down now. 100 shares, awesome, awesome. It's definitely good movement. Good movement. It's really all about the movement. Share size comes in time. You know, I never thought when I'd watch people, you know, trading 4,000 shares or however, I would ever beat that level. But yeah, you start at 50 shares, 100 shares, 200, 500, whatever. Next thing you know, you're trading 4,000 shares. So if you can get the movement down in the early stages, I mean, there's nothing to it when it comes to adding size, because you're already gonna know and understand how the stock moves. It's just like throwing a baseball. You want to work on your accuracy before you work on the speed. So if you can make accurate execution orders, get a good movement, and like with your trade, you're actually patient with it, you let it break through the low, then there's no problem with adding more share size. I usually take 400, but can't do that with something like PDD. Yeah, I think my max buying power was 500 shares about. I only took 200 shares. So, yeah, BPTH, it's holding a good amount. I mean, if you look at the daily, it's not doing anything crazy. So, I don't know. I was really hyped for it when it was in this candle, but then it just kind of going sideways. We look at RKDA. This is one that I'm basically comparing it off of. This is our RKDA moved. Had a huge spike up here to over 60 bucks from being at $6. Push down here, and then it just drifts off. And with BPTH, it's just going sideways. It's not even like a negative movement. It's actually a very bullish movement. So if it holds in this area, I mean, it could continue to go up. I would just look out for that. Okay, where is the... there you are. How we doing? Okay, so $5 was broken. We're up 165%. Yeah. I gotta run. Appreciate the input of time. Definitely. Thank you so much for tuning in. I truly do appreciate it. If you have any questions whatsoever, please feel free to reach out to me. Yeah, if anyone wants me to do a last minute look at any stocks that they're looking at, or want any input, have any questions whatsoever, please let me know. My personal trading day consisted of 200 shares, basically jumping in for a total of, well, I mean, it was almost 50 cents, but I did average in an additional 100 shares. So can't complain. $83, 20% on the day. Felt comfortable with the trade. It was only a 2-minute trade. Got in on the second minute candle, so at 9:31. And yeah, I'll be looking at AKTX tomorrow. If it holds this area, that would be great. I wanted to join y'all this morning, but I can't hear other opinions on stocks. Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, I definitely understand that. Yeah, definitely do. And it's funny because anytime you see a pump and a dump, basically this is the pump occurring now. But if I were to go online, I go to whatever that site is where they talk about all the stocks. If I typed in AKTX, everyone would be saying this thing's going to $1 zillion. And then anyone that says, oh, I'm going to short it, someone would say that guy's an idiot. No, buy this. It's going to go up to $20 tomorrow. So, and then of course it's going to fail. But yeah, I completely understand that. You know, definitely whatever feels comfortable with you, whatever you're confident with. Because again, I mean, you're the CEO, CFO, COO. I mean, you're everything. You know, no one else should be whispering in your ear about how to make decisions of your business per se. So that's good. It's a good mentality. Good mentality. But okay, I'm gonna cut it there. One trade today, done within basically the first 4 minutes of market open. You know, always excited to be here with everybody. Definitely means a lot. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I like to do these as much as possible. Of course, I'll have, you know, my live stream will be this weekend. I'll be talking about stocks. of course, cryptocurrency. Got a lot of stuff in the works. Definitely excited about it. Thank you all so much, James. Thank you very much. Definitely. Excellent trade. Movement. Beautiful. Beautiful movement. That's what it's all about. No one impresses me with the dollar amount. You can make $1 zillion on a trade. You get 2-cent movement. And I don't care. But the movement that you got was beautiful. And definitely keep that up. That's what's very impressive, to know where to get in and to get out of the stock, and being confident and patient. So excellent work, excellent work. And let me go ahead and switch it over. Here we go. All right, everybody. This is Jonathan and Mr. Kitty. Mr. Kitty with Lone Wolf Day Trading. It's Tay Green.